A dealership just quoted one of our viewers $1,200 to fix a slow power window. He almost paid it. Then he tried a three-step method used by Japanese car detailers for decades, spent $14, and his window moves faster than the day he drove off the lot. Today I'm showing you exactly what he did, why it works, and why almost every other fix you've seen online is actually making the problem worse. And before we get into it, if you've ever had a window that groans, creeps, hesitates, or sounds like it's lifting a boulder, this video is going to save you real money. We're talking about a fix the dealership will never tell you about, because the moment you learn it, they lose a customer. Let's get into it. First, why is your power window moving slowly? Here is what most people get completely wrong about slow power windows. They assume the motor is dying. They go online, find a replacement motor for $60 to $150, spend a Saturday pulling door panels apart, swap it out, and the window is still slow, sometimes even slower. That is because in the overwhelming majority of cases, the motor is not the problem at all. Here is the real number. Automotive technicians estimate that roughly 80% of slow power window complaints have nothing to do with the motor. The motor is fine. It is working exactly the way it was designed to work. The problem is what the motor is being forced to fight against. Think of it this way. Put a healthy person on a treadmill with no resistance, and they can run all day. Now, strap 50 pounds of dead weight to their back and make them run uphill, and they will slow down, struggle, and eventually burn out. That is exactly what is happening inside your car door every single time you press that window button. The window glass moves up and down inside a set of channels, rubber-lined tracks on each side of the glass. There is also a felt or rubber wiper seal at the top, where the glass disappears into the door. Over time, those channels collect road grime, brake dust, dried up old lubricant residue, and hard mineral deposits from rainwater. The rubber stiffens from UV exposure and temperature swings. What was once a smooth, slick glide surface becomes a friction trap. Your window motor is still generating the same power it always did, but now it is dragging a piece of glass through a channel that is gripping it like a vice. The motor draws more electrical current trying to compensate, sometimes 2 to 3 times the normal amperage, which overheats the motor windings, degrades the brushes, and eventually, yes, kills the motor. But here is the thing. The friction caused the motor failure, not the other way around. If you replace the motor without solving the friction problem, you will burn out the new one too. This is the part dealerships do not explain. They just sell you the motor replacement and send you home. The Japanese figured out a better way. The Japanese approach, and why it's different. Japanese car culture, particularly in cities like Tokyo and Osaka, operates on a level of preventive maintenance that most Western car owners simply never think about. In Japan, a car that makes a noise, moves slowly, or shows any sign of inefficiency is not ignored. It is addressed immediately, not with replacement parts, but with restoration. The philosophy is rooted in the concept of Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. You do not throw out a system that has degraded, you restore it to its optimal state and maintain it there. Applied to power windows specifically, Japanese detailers and mechanics developed a methodical 3-stage process. Strip the contamination, restore the surface, and protect it long-term. Not just spray something on the seal and hope for the best. Strip, restore, protect. The products they reach for are not exotic imports you cannot find. They are available in any auto parts store or online. But the method, the sequence, the technique, and the patience, that is what makes the difference. And that is exactly what I am walking you through today. There is also a product heritage worth knowing about. Japan's automotive aftermarket industry, companies like Soft 99, Kure Industries, and Waco's Chemical have been engineering precision lubricants and surface treatments for Japanese domestic vehicles since the 1960s. These companies supply products to Japanese dealer service departments, race teams, and the kind of meticulous car owners who clean their engine bays with toothbrushes. Their window and seal products are not marketing gimmicks. They are the result of decades of formulation specifically for automotive rubber and glass contact surfaces. This knowledge shaped the method we are talking about today, what you'll need, and what to absolutely avoid. Before we walk through the steps, let's talk products. This is where most people go off the rails immediately, and it's costing them their rubber seals. The worst thing you can put on a power window channel is WD-40. I know. You have probably heard 100 times to just spray WD-40 on it. That advice will absolutely help for about 2 days. WD-40 is a water displacer and light solvent. It is not a long-term lubricant. What it actually does to rubber seals over repeated applications is strip the plasticizers out of the rubber, the compounds that keep rubber soft and flexible. You are essentially drying out your seals faster every time you use it. The window feels better for a week, then feels worse than before, and your seals are now brittle and cracked. Same problem with petroleum-based greases, like basic wheel bearing grease or chassis lube. Petroleum products degrade rubber, period. If someone at an auto parts store hands you a tube of petroleum-based grease for your window channels, put it back on the shelf. What you actually need: isopropyl alcohol at 90% or higher concentration. This is your cleaning agent. Do not use the 70% stuff sold for disinfecting. You need something that evaporates clean with minimal water content. A standard bottle runs about $3 to $5. A fine automotive detailing brush or an old clean toothbrush. You need something with enough stiffness to work into the channel grooves without scratching the glass. Microfiber cloths, at least 3. They are a few dollars for a pack of 10 anywhere. 100% silicone spray or silicone-based lubricant. This is the critical choice. Not silicone blended, not multi-surface lubricant that has silicone listed as one of 15 ingredients. You want something that is predominantly silicone. Products like Permatex Ultra Slick, 3M Silicone Spray, or Curie 556 Super Silicone are all appropriate. A can runs $8 to $12. Optional, but highly recommended. A rubber conditioner, something like 303 Aerospace Protectant or Chemical Brothers Rubber Care. These products restore elasticity and UV protection to rubber seals that have started to stiffen. If your window seals look faded, gray, or slightly cracked, do not skip this step. Total cost: $14 to $25, depending on what you already have at home. Compare that to a $1,200 dealer quote or a $60 to $150 motor replacement that will not fix the underlying issue. Step 1. Expose the channel and do a real clean. Roll your window all the way down. All the way. You want maximum access to the interior of the channel. Now, look inside the channel, the rubber-lined track on each side of the glass. Take your flashlight and look carefully. What you will find in almost every car over 3 years old is a blackish-gray paste of compressed grime, brake dust, road film, old lubricant that dried and oxidized, and in cars that live in wet climates you may see dried mineral deposits or even light mold growth. This contamination is not just dirt. It acts as an abrasive compound every time the glass moves through it, accelerating wear on both the glass edge and the channel lining itself. Dampen your detailing brush with isopropyl alcohol. Work it into the channel on both sides, scrubbing in short strokes. You will see the contamination start to release immediately. It will look alarming, a black or dark brown residue coming off the brush onto your microfiber cloth. That is exactly what you want. Keep going until the cloth comes away mostly clean. Pay particular attention to the bottom of the channel, where grime tends to pack most densely, and to the inner corners where the channel curves near the door frame. These are the pinch points where friction is highest. Now, clean the top seal, the wiper at the belt line where the glass enters the door. This seal takes the most abuse. It is exposed to direct sunlight, rain, and the mechanical stress of the glass moving across it constantly. Wipe it down thoroughly with a fresh microfiber dampened with isopropyl alcohol. If the seal surface is visibly gray or powdery, that is oxidized rubber. The conditioner step will address that. After cleaning, run the window up and down twice. You will probably hear it already sounding smoother, less of that strained groaning. But do not stop here. You have removed the contamination, but you have not replaced what the rubber needs to perform properly. Step 2. The silicone application. Technique matters. This is where the Japanese method diverges most sharply from the common just spray some stuff on it approach you find in most online guides. The application technique is as important as the product itself. Do not spray silicone directly into the channel while the window is down. That is the instinct most people follow, and it leads to silicone pooling at the bottom of the channel, leaving the middle and upper portions dry and creating an uneven glide surface that makes some parts of the window travel smooth while other sections still bind. Here is the correct technique. Hold the silicone spray nozzle approximately 4 inches from the channel surface. Apply a light, sweeping coat, not a saturated soak, a light mist. Let it sit for 60 seconds. This gives the silicone time to begin penetrating the rubber's porous surface rather than sitting on top of it. Now raise the window halfway and apply another light coat to the lower portion of the channel that was previously covered by the glass. Raise the window all the way up and apply a light coat to the lower portion of the channel again. Lower the window completely and apply a light coat along the full outer face of the beltline seal, the wiper seal at the top of the door. Now cycle the window, up, down, 5 to 6 times at full speed. This does 2 things. It distributes the silicone evenly across the entire contact surface through the motion of the glass, and it drives the lubricant into the microscopic pores and texture of the rubber. The heat generated by the motor and the mechanical action work together to improve absorption. After cycling, take a clean, dry microfiber and wipe away any silicone residue that has transferred onto the glass surface itself. You do not want a silicone film on the window glass. It will affect visibility, particularly at night with oncoming headlights. Now, run the window again. If you have done this correctly, the difference is immediate and dramatic. What was a labored, slow grind should now feel almost effortless, a smooth, quick glide. Step 3. The rubber conditioner, the part almost everyone skips. This step does not make the window faster today. It keeps it fast for the next 3 to 5 years. Your window seals are made from EPDM rubber, ethylene propylene dianemonomer. It is a durable material, but it has one weakness. Ultraviolet radiation and ozone exposure cause it to leach out the plasticizers that keep it soft and pliable. A seal that has lost its plasticizers becomes stiff, has higher friction, tears more easily, and is more likely to grip the glass unevenly. Apply your rubber conditioner to the beltline seal and to the outer face of the channel seals. Work it in with a microfiber cloth in circular motions. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then buff off the excess. If you are using 303 aerospace protectant, the product Japanese detailers have used for years on convertible soft tops and seals, you will notice the rubber go from an oxidized matte gray back to a deep, saturated black. That color change is not cosmetic. It is a visual indicator that the rubber has reabsorbed protective compounds. Conditioned rubber is softer, more pliable, generates less friction, and creates a better environmental seal that keeps water and wind noise out of the cabin. It also dramatically extends the life of the seal itself. An unconditioned seal that has been exposed to years of ultraviolet may last another 2 or 3 years before cracking. A conditioned seal can last the life of the vehicle. Do this step. It costs you an extra 5 minutes and maybe $10 for the conditioner. In return, you get seals that stay soft and functional for years, instead of hardening back into a friction problem by next winter. The electrical side. What to check if the window is still slow? If you've completed all 3 steps and the window is still noticeably sluggish, not just slightly slower than a brand new window, but actually struggling, then it's time to look at the electrical side of the equation. The most common electrical cause of slow power windows, that is not the motor itself, is voltage drop. Every electrical circuit in your car has a certain amount of resistance. When resistance builds up through corroded connectors, loose grounds, or aging wiring, the motor does not receive its full operating voltage. A window motor designed to run at 12 volts that is only seeing 9.5 or 10 volts will run noticeably slower and draw a higher current trying to compensate. Grab a multimeter, set it to direct current voltage. Have someone press and hold the window switch while you probe the 2 wires at the motor connector. On a healthy circuit, you should see 11.5 to 12.5 volts. If you are seeing 9 to 10 volts or lower, you have a voltage drop problem. Check the window switch contacts first, because over years of use, the contact surfaces inside the switch oxidize and develop resistance. A replacement window switch is typically $20 to $40 and is often the fix for electrical slowness. Also, check the ground connection for the door. There is typically a ground wire bolted to the door hinge area or through the door jamb. These grounds corrode over time and are frequently the culprit in door electrical issues, slow windows, intermittent power locks, and dim interior lights. Clean the ground contact point with sandpaper to bare metal. Reinstall the bolt with a star washer so it bites into the surface, and you may see an immediate improvement. If voltage and grounds check out, but the window is still slow and you have completed the mechanical lubrication process, then, and only then, is the motor worth examining. A proper motor test involves checking amp draw under load. A healthy window motor should draw 3 to 5 amps when running free, and up to 8 to 10 amps at stall. Sustained draws above that indicate a worn motor, but in nearly every case where someone completes the Japanese method properly, they never get to this point. The mechanical fix solves it. How often to do this, and the signs to watch for. The full Japanese method treatment, clean, silicone, condition, should be performed once a year in moderate climates, and twice a year if you live somewhere with extreme seasons. If your car spends winters in road salt country or summers in intense desert heat, your seals are taking accelerated punishment and benefit from more frequent attention. Annual and twice are good rules of thumb. Between full treatments, a quick pass with silicone spray every 3 to 4 months takes less than 5 minutes and keeps friction from building back up. Use silicone spray for this quick pass. Here are the early warning signs that your windows are developing a problem. Any hesitation at the start of travel, that brief pause before the glass starts moving. A change in the sound of the motor, from a smooth hum to a strained whine. Any variation in speed as the glass travels up or down, for example, fast in some sections and slow in others. Any physical difficulty in raising the window manually if you ever lose power to it. These are all friction telling you it is time. The window that moves slowly today is the motor that fails next year. The motor that fails means a $400 to $800 repair bill at a shop or a weekend of your own time pulling a door panel. Neither of those has to happen. One last thing. Here is the part that should genuinely frustrate you. Automotive manufacturers know everything discussed in this video. They know the service interval for window channel lubrication. They know that silicone-based lubricant is the correct choice for rubber seals, and that petroleum-based products degrade them. They know that most motor failures begin as friction problems. That information does not appear anywhere in your owner's manual, not in the maintenance schedule, not in the service booklet, because a $14 annual maintenance routine and a $1,200 service department replacement are not the same business outcome for them. Japanese car culture figured this out and built it into standard ownership practice. Your neighbor, who has had the same Lexus for 22 years and every electrical component still works flawlessly? There is a reason for that, and it is not just the badge on the hood. It is the maintenance philosophy behind it. You now have that same knowledge. Use it. That's everything for today. If you tried this method on your car, drop your results in the comments. I read every single one. If this saved you from an unnecessary repair bill, hit that like button because it genuinely helps this channel keep putting out content like this instead of the dealership telling you to just pay up. Subscribe if you want more real-world fixes, not the kind that make the shop rich, but the kind that keep your money in your pocket. See you in the next one.